Mike and I both have a tendency of running into crazy people when we go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I do, especially. My wife doesn't believe me. She's like, there's no way you keep running into these people.
That's what Beth says.
Well, last week and the week before, nothing had happened. Just like nothing.
Yeah.
And I think I let it get to me.
Okay.
Well, this week, something phenomenal happened at the grocery store. I met a woman in the produce department. So I go to Kroger. And by the way, Kroger are not a sponsor of this podcast, although they should be, because we mentioned them in all 27 episodes of this podcast.
Mm-hmm. We could call this the Kroger podcast.
The Kroger podcast, yeah. So I'm in Kroger. I'm in the produce section, and I'm walking by, and there's a woman, and she's desperately trying to open up a plastic bag. She cannot open it. And I've been there 1,000 times.
Yep.
And I'm convinced that they have the cameras, the security cameras, that they record people doing the opening the bags.
Yeah.
And they're laughing at us. And it's like a show. They air it in Taiwan or Peru or something. Yeah. And Americans are crazy with plastic bags. That's probably a more
I would watch that.
Probably
show.
a catchier title than that. But I told her, I said, those bags are bitched open, aren't they? She goes, yes, they are, because I talk to strangers.
Yeah.
And I told her my theory that we're being recorded, and she's laughing. And she says, well, before we all had the masks, you could just lick your fingers and open the bag, but now you can't take the mask off. And she says, you got to get your fingers wet somehow. And I got an idea. She says, I'm going to touch the beets. So she puts her hands on the wet beets. Okay. And then she opens up the bag. And she says, see, it worked. And then she looks at me and she goes, you want to touch my beets?
Oh, Lord.
And I'm thinking, no, but you just titled my next podcast. No. So, and then she clarifies, she says, and just so you know, I'm not touching all the beets and leaving them there.
No,
she bought
she's a one beet lady.
She's a beet. She bought the beets. Okay. But so I couldn't drive home fast enough to tell my wife, you want to touch my beets? So
was there a twinkle in her eye? Did she know what she had said, or was she?
It was almost as if she was a cast member on our podcast.
Okay,
like if we had a third chair, she'd be the beat lady.
Okay,
and she was just like she couldn't get enough. And I know she went home and told her husband. So I asked this guy if he wanted to touch my beets, and he's like, "You did what?"
Yeah.